Podcast. I'm Nathan. I can't even say my name right today. I'm Nathan Taylor, and we're here to make Microsoft simple. We want to run through all the strategic, scalable resources Microsoft has, but make them approachable and simple. We want to share what's happening across the Microsoft ecosystem, keep you informed, stay ahead of this quickly changing Microsoft ecosystem. So thanks for joining us today. It's been a while since I recorded a video. Been kind of a busy season, but we're going to get back onto the back into the rhythm of recording more often on my side, and looking forward to a fun 2026 with some exciting topics. Today, we are talking about NCE, Microsoft renewals. It's that time of year. If you're at all familiar with that process, we just want to talk about all the things that you got to know with the annual renewal for your Microsoft licensing. So let's jump in. I'll kind of explain some things and then show you some of the new things that are happening this year. So NCE, it stands for New Commerce Experience, and it's a new framework Microsoft built out 5 or 6 years ago. It's been around for quite a while, but about 3 or 4 years ago, Microsoft started enforcing those licensing terms. And so, if you'll remember that I think it was 2022, all of a sudden we had to make sure everybody was paying for annual upfront annual licensing, or they were getting a penalty. So for years, we were basically month to month on Microsoft licensing. In the back end, there's technically an annual commit for licenses, but it wasn't enforced. And at that point, things were enforced. Um, and so a lot of you moved to a annual paid monthly plan where you committed for a year and you paid monthly. Some people went to an annual where they paid upfront, and some people stayed on monthly. Now, what happened when NCE launched is those monthly licenses included a 20% premium on the cost of the MSRP of those licenses. Whereas if you committed for a year, you kept it at MSRP. Microsoft does this because Microsoft's trying to really validate their revenue. It looks really good on their books and the shareholders that they can say, "Hey, here's all the revenue we have booked. It's verified, it's committed to, and we can guarantee that it's going to get paid." And so that's the reason they drove this change, and it's helped their stock and helped their shareholders. So it's the world we live in. And a lot of you have renewals in the next couple of months in the Q1. And the reason most renewals ended up in Q1 is, especially in the small business space, Microsoft had a special. If you committed to your licensing, especially on the business premium SKU, which was a SKU that a lot of us sell, a lot of customers use. It's the hero SKU. It's an amazing product, an amazing value. If you committed to that before March 31st of the year this launched, you delayed a price increase for a year. Microsoft was raising the price from $20 to $22 on that SKU. And so many of our customers have their renewal specifically in February. February seems to be where a lot of renewals happen. And so it's just kind of NCE season, which is not the most wonderful time of the year, but it is a reality we're coming into. And so I wanted to get ahead of this year's renewal. I'm recording this here in late December. We're going to start talking to customers quite a bit about renewals in the next few weeks, and it gets real hot and heavy in February. And I want to talk through understanding how this works, and also some things you should be aware of that have changed this year, because there's some things that are new from Microsoft on this front. So a couple key things to keep in mind. On these annual commits from Microsoft, what you're committing to is to a minimum spend on that license SKU under that commitment. So let's say it's business premium and you commit to 30 licenses. At any point in that 1 year, you can bump that number up. You could do 32, you could do 35, but you can never decrement. So that's the first big thing to know, is that as your business grows and shrinks and changes over time, you get one window a year where you can decrement, and that is 7 days after your renewal date. So let's say you bought these and you did your original commitment on February 25th. Well, every year, starting on February 25th through whatever that's March 3rd or March 4th, you have a 7-day window where you can then change the quantity you want to be on an annual commit for. So that's the most important thing to keep in mind. It's important to know when your renewal dates are. And if you have, a dozen different products in the Microsoft ecosystem, they don't have to have the same renewal date. Now, generally, we try to co-term and keep renewal dates in sync. And most customers, the majority of their licenses are on the same rhythm of renewal. But it is important to know what your renewal dates are and to understand that. You can find that in the admin portal under the Your Products page. You can go look at each subscription you have and what the renewal dates are. And if you have a licensing partner like Sourcepass, we can provide that data for you and quite happily walk you through that window. Um, so what's important about that window though is you need to start thinking now ahead of that window about what you would like to change. Hey, I'd like to take my 35 licenses of business premium and move them to 25 because we're less people this year. The other thing you can start to get creative with is there's 3 levels of commitment with Microsoft on licensing. We can go month to month, which I mentioned is comes with a 20% premium on MSRP. You can run your licenses in annual. So you're committing for a year and you're paying up front. And that gets you the MSRP cost. The third option is you can commit for a year but pay monthly. This fits most closely to what most people want to do. They don't want to play with the cash flow of having to pay for their licenses up front. So they choose to go for a year and pay for it monthly. And so the majority of small business customers, that's the licensing model they settle on. But the interesting thing is you can mix and match even within the same family. I could transact business premium in all 3 forms. I could pay for 10 upfront, annual. I could pay for the next 10 annual monthly, and then I could pay for the final 10 in a month to month. And I'm allowed to do that. No problem transacting that in the portals. It's very easy for us to transact in that way. Rarely would I see people doing all 3, but often I will see people do 2. And we like to talk about kind of thinking of like a high water mark and a low water mark. And one of the ways to approach this problem is like, okay, I have 35 employees today, but in the next year, I think I could go anywhere from 25 to 40 employees. Maybe you're a seasonal company and you go, man, I have a 15, 20 employee swing. Well, one way to approach the problem of those licensing is to say, I'm going to choose annual monthly for 20 of those licenses. And then I'm going to put the next 15 on a month to month subscription. That way, next month when I only need 5, I can drop that 15 down to 5. And the month after that, I can bump it back up to 15. So you're getting the cost savings and the stability of the annual commitment on the base 20 licenses. But where you need flexibility, you have that flexibility because yeah, it's a 20% premium to go month to month. But in the end, that's probably still cheaper than paying for 5 extra licenses for 6 months of the year that you don't need them. So we're happy to work through that with you and kind of walk you through the intricacies of that. It's not hard for us to take a tenant and export the licenses to a spreadsheet and make some quick decisions about how we'd like to license things. The next variable that I want to talk to you about, which is an update from this year. Microsoft made one big change in April, and I just clicked the wrong thing on my website here. Okay, here we go. We'll share my screen. All right. Bear with me here while I get the screen share going. Maybe it might not be working today. I might be hitting the button. Let me try one other button here. Oh, there we go. I was hitting the wrong button. All right. Sorry about that. So let me grab this window and we'll go there and share. All right. Now we're talking. Okay. So this is on Microsoft's website. This is their announcements feed where they're announcing things that change. And starting in April of 2025, so that was 9 months ago, Microsoft made a change, and all plans on the annual build monthly cycle are now having a 5% price increase. So we kind of have 3 tiers of pricing now. We have a at cost, which comes with monthly, comes with annual. I apologize, I'm stumbling over my words here. If you're paying up front for your annual commitment, it's those licenses sell at the MSRP. If you're paying monthly but on a 1-year commit, which is a lot of our customers, those licenses will now have a 5% higher cost at renewal. So if your renewal for the year didn't happen until now, you haven't seen that 5% price increase, but it will happen at your renewal date in February or whenever that date is. So this is a bit of a change. There's now a premium to be paying monthly instead of annually, which is a bummer. But it's Microsoft's got to pay for all those Copilot data centers somehow, and so we're seeing some different price changes this year that we haven't seen in the past. And then if you're paying monthly, that's still at 20% premium. So there's a bit of a decision for people to make here of like, hey, are they gonna go with the new pricing there, or are they going to stick with are they going to pay up front? It's a cash flow decision. It's a cost benefit decision. But we wanted you to kind of understand that that's a new wrinkle this year as of April 2025, but it's really hitting most people here in Q1 of 2026. So I think when you talk about things to be aware of, be aware of your renewal dates. Start putting some thought into how many seats you want of what. We can keep it simple. We can kind of make it more nuanced and customized to you. It's your choice. We're happy to help. And obviously, this is something to start thinking about as most people have that renewal in the next 2 months here at the beginning of 2026. We have a couple other things we could chat about, though, which is there's some new SKUs that are worth reviewing. And some of these came out in September, but we're really excited about them. So I thought this would be a good time to talk about them. If you're running Business Premium, like a lot of our customers are, Microsoft came out with a new bundle called the Defender Suite for Business Premium for $10 a user per month. And if you have a high security kind of scenario, this is a really great product. We're a big fan of this. Entra ID P2 is a feature that a lot of security conscious companies would like to have, because it includes a lot of great controls around risky users, additional controls about identity, and it's one of the more valuable add-on SKUs in the Microsoft stack. And for reference, that SKU alone costs $8 to $9 to add separately. So this bundle includes that for $10 a month. It also includes some really great features. Defender for Identity. This is a great tool if you're running on-prem AD still, which has become a bigger and bigger vector for threat actors. If they can get access to your AD, they're going to exploit it to compromise you. Now, obviously, usually they have to get into your network and other things happen, but they can get on an endpoint, they can talk to your domain controller, they're going to attack it. Defender for Identity looks for those things and adds all those data points to the Microsoft security database. Things like Defender XDR allow you to see across your endpoints and your Defender deployments and your identity. So there's a lot of value in that. You get upgraded fully to Defender for Endpoint Plan 2. So add some additional advanced threat hunting and attack surface reduction capabilities. So there's some value in that SKU. You get Defender for Office 365 P2, which allows you to do like phish testing, simulate cyber attacks, and a couple other things. They also give you Defender for Cloud Apps, which is a really big value today in the AI world. Allows you to just see what people are doing, where they're uploading data, what they're using. Microsoft's got this great view here. Defender for Endpoint P2 is $5. Office 365 is $5. Identity is $5. Cloud Apps is $3, and Entra ID is $9. So it's a $28 license for around $10. So if you're really looking to move your security, the combination of Defender Business Premium and this new Defender Suite for Business Premium for $32 a month combined is just a killer combo, and adds a lot of security capabilities, and we highly recommend it. If you've got a little bit more of a data sensitivity side, maybe you're really pushing hard on Copilot and you want to really manage your data loss prevention and your data governance, there's also a Purview Suite for Business Premium for $10 per month, and it includes all these features you see here: insider risk management, information protection, advanced DLP capabilities, customer key for privacy on your tenants, communication compliance, all kinds of different capabilities here on the Purview side around compliance and data governance and e-discovery. This is a value for a lot of companies who really want to dig deep on that side. You also can combine them for $15 a month. You get both stacks. The advantage of this $15 a month stack on top of business premium is for $22 for business premium plus $15 for this stack. You're getting the majority of the $60 E5 capabilities for $47, $48 a month, somewhere in there, which is a real value for companies that are really pushing on the Microsoft security stack. And for under 300 users, I don't know why you would use this stack, why you wouldn't use this stack, unless maybe you really wanted some of the E5 only features like a security copilot. So there's a lot of value here. So I just thought I'd call that out as we're looking at renewals. There's another big announcement that I recommend reviewing, which is if you're using Microsoft 365 Copilot and you have less than 300 seats, Microsoft came out with Microsoft 365 Copilot for Business. This is at about 30% discount from the Copilot for Business enterprise product that we've been using for the last year. And so it's, I think, $22 a user. Let's see if they show pricing here. It's $18. Oh, it's $21 a user per month. There is a promo pricing where it's $18 per month. Or as you can see, $18.90 with our 5% increase for paid monthly. Copilot is one of the licenses I can't do month to month. It requires an annual commit. So it's a matter of whether you're paying upfront or paying monthly. But if you're using Copilot, you're thinking about doing Copilot, it's a great time to jump into that. And actually, there's also, on top of that, Microsoft has a bundle where they're bundling Copilot and Business Premium for $32 a month. So some great pricing if you're thinking about maybe upgrading from Business Standard, want to play with Copilot. There's a $5 discount on Purview Suite. We talked about that earlier. And so Microsoft has some specials here. So reach out to our team if you have questions about this. It's a great opportunity to really save some money, and we'd love to help you get ahead of your renewal window. Obviously, that's a kind of a big moment, and annual commits happening. We got that 7-day window, so anytime we can get ahead of that is a win. We'd like to make sure people are on the most efficient stack of licenses. So reach out to your account manager or just hit us up. Our website is sourcepassmcoe.com. We'd be happy to walk you through that. Even if you're not a customer, we'd love to jump into your tenant, show you what you have, give our recommendations, talk through the process of renewing. If you would like to move to a CSP partner like us, your renewal window, let's say you're paying on a credit card, that renewal window is the time to move to a CSP partner where we can help you with some better pricing and get you some options you don't get on your credit card pay-as-you-go subscriptions. But we got to move it during that 7-day window because Microsoft is also locking you into 12-month commitments when they can on your credit card. And so that's the other reason to be aware of that renewal moment is it's the right time to start working with a partner who can add value. So those things we can add on the value side is we have a Microsoft 365 security assessments where we can show you, you're paying for that business premium license, but we'll show you what's been activated, what hasn't, what features you're using, and what features could add security for you, and what does that look like. We do those all the time, and would be happy to show you that. So reach out to our team. We'd love to help you walk through this season of renewals, and we're happy to explain things, just help you understand the complexities of Microsoft licensing, Microsoft renewals, Microsoft New Commerce Experience, NCE. So thank you for joining me today on the Demystifying Microsoft podcast. Be sure to subscribe. We'd love to have you follow and share with people, like videos you like. Obviously, that just helps get us in front of more eyeballs. Stay tuned. We're going to be driving some great new content and kind of polishing some things up this year in 2026. You can also find us on LinkedIn, YouTube. Our website is sourcepassmcoe.com. That's the best place to get a hold of us if you have questions. And we'll put some links in our episode description in case you want to follow some of those. And we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Demystifying Microsoft podcast. Talk to you soon.